Good morning, everybody. Sunday. Today is the 10th of February. Hope you guys had a really nice trading week. And looking forward to some more fun this week. Let's get right to it. And taking a look on the weekly chart, we can see that we still have green going on here for now. It looks like the 7th week in a row. And, the market's afraid. This was red until late in the day Friday. It's like they're afraid to let anything happen to this chart. It's like so fake what's going on right now. And it gets the inverted hammer. We don't quite get up to the supply still yet. We banged through the first part of the supply last week, 2 weeks back. This still needs a pullback. It's just starting. So it's leveling out a little bit over here on the daily chart. The 200 average is sort of putting a ceiling on us. We've pulled back a little bit, and now is the test to see if we create a lower high or not. From this 240, you can see, we've been channeling up over here, and we finally break down, and now the test comes. Back test. If we get the lower high, which I believe what we should be seeing, we're going to start to back test into, we need to test this area over here in order to continue this way, but we'll see as that, down here, if we end up getting the turn back to, to come back to the highs or not, but the sell-off is still coming. It's going to be a little bit of a battle. You can see we're dancing in between the moving averages over here on the daily chart. 50 is underneath us, the 200 is above us, and we're just sort of dancing back and forth between them. You can see that the last rally on the daily chart started off the 50. Right here, we broke above the 50 on this candle. And then we back test, bang, bang, bang. We shoot up. Now we get stuck over here. And what we should see is another sell-off. I believe we're going to hit some of this, beginning of this level over here, and then start to turn back, and then, air over here. I'm going to open up the chart. You're going to see there's actually air above us as well. So, debatable here what's going to happen, but it looks to me is based on the break of the trend line over here on the 240. I think we're going to see another pullback. I'm going to zoom out a little bit, show you what I'm talking about. So look here, okay? All right, we're channeling up over here, up. We test below a little bit. We get back above, bang, 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 bang. There we go. We come below. Here's the supply. All right, back test to the break of the trend line, and then we should see a lower high. There's the air I'm talking about. If I'm wrong and this level doesn't hold, well, then we're looking at this pocket of air up here. Okay, take a look. There's air over here also, right above us. So we'll put us up into this 2800. That would be the real top. If we get up there without, just shoot up here, this is going to be an ugly sell-off. It would be a lot safer if we just turn over here, and then we can do like this, and then we can start, rallying again. But another push up without this bigger pullback coming makes this a treacherous level. It's already very powerful supply. It would make it even worse. Again, the reason being that we have no demand anymore underneath us. So off here, we could end up all the way down here in one shot. But for now, the trade is short over here, and see what happens. That's what I'm looking at over here. We did get the pullback I was looking for last week. It, fizzled out late Friday because, again, they don't want it closing red. I'm afraid. But short is still the better trade over here. And again, just keep in mind that if we do break out above this 2730 something, there's a 50-point pocket of air here. And underneath us also, if you look at here, there's like almost 50, 40 something a pocket of air over here. So we're stuck in the middle. Right? That's why you're looking at on the daily chart is the moving averages is basically what's going on over here, right? The 200 averages over here, the 50 averages over here, and then the pocket of air on either side. I like the short from this level. Let's take a look on some of the other time frames, see what the levels are. Actually, let me put the recording on. Start that. Timer. There's our 60. Let's blow this up. And this little head and shoulders formation is looking like something, right? This is here already, but little back test of this level, right? You can see that this was a high, and we broke above, and we were able to rally a little further. We break down on the other side, we should hit something over here, I think, and start turning over. Look at the air underneath us over here. There's room. And then I already showed you what's up above. It looks to me like the short is definitely the better trade, but it's something that's going to be a battle. Every time we were channeling down this week, it's very choppy on the smaller time frames. So you have to give it a little bit more room, or wait for something really a higher time frame level, maybe up here on the 60. It's down, but it's just painful watching it go. They keep fighting it off. So be very quick, I think, for now until it really starts breaking down. If you start making new lows of the day, think about locking in profits, because they've been disappearing pretty quick. Okay, NASI, let's see what's going on there. So this one's really clean. Same idea. We have no red on the weekly chart in weeks. Right? It's all green, fighting off this last recent low, and we're looking for a continuation of the turnover over here. That's what we want to see. On the 240, you can see again, actually before I get there, the same idea, right? The moving averages are in our way, right? Underneath and above us. And we're coming back to the supply zone up here again. It's all one channel, one direction up. Here's the interesting part over here, right? This is a really clear head and shoulders for me. Here's the demand, come back to the level. That's the most recent high. Look at the trend line again. We have supply sitting right over there. We should make this lower high. That's what I want to see. And again, the pocket of air underneath us, right? Completing this. That's what we want to see. Looking for something down here, okay? So I like the short still. Let's take a look at that 60. So there's the supply zone. They look exactly the same. The charts are identical. Right? Looking for a short somewhere in this neighborhood up here. Looks like 69, 60, 70, something like that. See on the 15, the level is a little clearer maybe. And again, you can see that they this was breaking down on Friday, and they saved it. Again, same story. They don't want to close red on the week. So it tells you the market's not as healthy as we think, right? And looking for a sell-off. All right. So this has been hit already. Up here, the levels are not. There's nothing fresh. There's only this thing over here. Supply. So around 69, 60 or so. All right. Cool. NASI. Let's look at crude. So crude finally was behaving as expected this week. We did get the red coming on the weekly chart. And I think we should see a little bit more of a back test before we get the pullback and start to rally again. We're coming to daily supply. We should be still looking for this test of either this 50 average, this 50.85 I think is probably the place it's going to. Potentially could pull back all the way to 50, but around 51, 50.80, this area over here I think is probably a more likely target for now. Let's take a look at what we're looking at on the smaller time frames. So yeah, so this is the level I'm basically talking about, right? A little bit above 50, and just a back test to this little trend line over here that we broke out of. It's a longer term trend line. Could we get down to 50? Yeah, it's right now flagging over here. What's a bear flag? Likely that we just pop into here thinking that we start rallying again. So still staying short. There's about almost $2, looks like, to the downside available still, and then we'll start thinking longs again. For now, leaning short up at 60. Yeah, it looks like the 200, the 50 average is like a trend line already over here. Right? Green, pushing down. It looks like we've hit some demand back underneath us over here and rallied up a little bit, but this is still a little bear flag over here. And we should see this pop down. Looks like the demand underneath us. Let's go look at the level. That's the one I'm looking for. Yes, I mean, that's the zone, right? 51, 50, 66, 67, whatever. Inside this is the demand of the higher time frame. That's the level we should be looking for. It looks like it measures out pretty good with a bear flag breakdown. Let's take a look and see if that's as accurate as I believe it is. It looks pretty good to me. I didn't measure it yet, but let's see. Base. There we go, from here to here. That's our flag. And if we break that out of there to the downside, puts us right inside the zone. Yeah, that's the likely candidate for now. $2 to the downside. Okay, for crude. Let's go look at the 15 chart. Oops, sorry about that. 15 chart says, okay, well, on the 15 you can see we're sort of stuck in between demand and supply. It looks like the short, if it should be able to pop up here, that's about $1 up from where we are. And, you know, we're right in the middle of this thing. Price is dead center. So, you know, it looks more like probably a little, let me erase this and clean this up. Looks like more like a little wedge going on over here. All right, and we should break down and hit this demand underneath us. If we rally up into the supply up there, it's a good short. I like that. All right, so we're looking short for crude. So far short on the indexes, short on crude. Gold. Gold is a long still. It's a beautiful swing long. It started really nicely. It did really what we looked for last week. We get into the rollover gap and it explodes almost $10 out of there. Okay. So looking really nice. Look at the candles over here. This was a nice red candle at one point during the week last, and it just turns into a hammer, and we've got room. What's up here? Nothing. Air. We should be getting to like 1360 according to this. We should be able to pop right through this area and just keep going. So longs on gold. If you're a swing trader, sit on this thing. Looking really nice. We're buying pullbacks in demand every time it pulls back. There's another nice entry again for this week in case we didn't get into the last week's. Off the gap down here, there's a really nice level that looks good right over here. Not too much risk. It looks like only 10 ticks. Right off the 15, off the break of this little channel that we had going on. And it's a little pullback into demand. You know, it's a pullback into this area. It's a 50 moving average basically on the 60 chart. 13 and change. That's the demand zone right over here. So look for longs in that neighborhood over here for continued swing trading. Long for gold. Target for currently looks to be, let's say, I think the daily level is like 1340 something for now. Let's go take a look. Next supply on the daily chart is coming in at 1340 about. Let's go see what the zone looks like. It's garbage. Yeah, you can get above that. I would say it's probably around 1340, a little higher up into this area. So let's call it 1340 for now. So yeah, it's pretty decent long. From 1320 to 1340 is $2 grand a contract. That's what we're looking for here for gold. Okay. Next, the dollar this week, massive rally. And puts in a little double bottom on the daily chart. Okay. First off, over here we weren't able to break. We hold this low. We rally above on the weekly chart. All right. Take a look over here. This demand zone, which I should draw on the chart, is starting to hold, and we're looking for probably the next level is somewhere over here. Okay. So, taking a look at the daily chart, there's the double bottom. Right. 1, 2. There's our middle, and we're back to the origin is really over here, right? So it's pretty much complete. And now the question becomes, well, okay, where are we going from here? All right? Are we going to continue the rally and break through the top above the prior highs back here, or are we going to pull back over here? My likelihood is, for now, I believe we're going to see a little pullback. We're probably going to get a higher low and then rally through the top. So something like this is what I would anticipate. I don't think we're just going to break through this level off this low over here. Okay, it's like 6 days, 8 days in a row, just up, 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 up. It needs to have a little breather, small pullback. Look at the convergence over here. We're about to get a golden cross over there, it looks like, on the 200, on the 240 chart. And this is going to be the demand zone sitting right there. Right? So that's what I would be looking for. Pullback into somewhere around 95.50, it looks like, or so. No, 95.80, right over here, for this. Okay, that's what we should see. So if you're a dollar trader or whatever currency, just realize the dollar's due for a little pullback. Nothing major, but a little bit of a pullback, which would give us an opportunity basically to get into a longer term short. Okay, this is starting to look like death for the euro. Right now, it's early in the month, but right over here, we're about to put in the reversal pattern. Taking out the lows of last month would be really dangerous over here on the monthly chart for euro because there's nothing here. Okay. Start looking at the weekly chart. When we put in another lower high, we have a huge red engulfer, humongous sell-off, indicating breakdowns. Over here on the daily chart, we broke under here, back tested the supply, broke down again. So what should we get? We should get a smaller time frame back test and then a break, I think, of all this back into air over here. So I'm looking for shorts someplace over here on the for around 114 or so for the euro, with a target currently would put us down into here underneath the lows of the weekly into the 112 and change. So we want to see a little back test into a supply zone for a beginning of a swing short for euro trades. All right, so there's a couple of things I drew out. The levels are tough because there isn't really clean supply because the way we channeled down, we pretty much touched everything on the way. This is all shit. You know what I mean? It's a tough spot. This one's got something half decent. Around 114. This one is probably a little better. The 114, 125 to 210. The trend line is in there, and it's a nice little tight doji, and it hasn't been touched yet. So that's the one I'd be looking for a swing entry on. The only thing is that we're quite far away, so I don't know what happens over here when we open. If we start breaking down further, we'd have to trade this level or potentially a new supply zone that's forming over here, depending on how far we sell off. So we'll have to watch this for a chance in, but we want to be short. Keep your eyes on open supply zones, fresh supply zones for euro, short. Okay, we're looking for a rally up first, right? The back test should be coming, just like the dollar should be pulling back, the euro should be rallying, and then use that rally to get short. Okay, if we look for a second, go back on the 60. Look at the trend line. The trend line is in 50 average, so that's also a great spot. Even though there's no zone here, this 50 average you can see is clearly indicating profit. So any push up into that 50 average will cause a back test. It should be a fairly decent entry. It's currently coming in around 138, which is over here. It's like in supply currently. So we'll have to see where it ends up as we get closer. But something to think about also. It can be used as a trend line for an entry for a swing trade. We're talking about swinging trade right now and aiming at 112 and change for the euro. All right, Aussie dollar. Let's see what we got. I love air. I make a t-shirt that says I love air. I love air. So I want to see this a little bit of a push up into some supply and then boom. Okay, that's what we're looking for. It looks like over here we're rejecting these highs completely, and we should see some kind of something like this. Okay, there's demand over here that's left off this ridiculous wick that we had about a month and a half ago or so. That big monster rally over here, there is nothing in this area. There's just one level somewhere around 7,000, which I believe will get hit this week, and then after that it's like all the way down to 69 and change. So a lot of room underneath us. And so we should be seeing, again, because the dollar might have a little bit of weakness this week before it picks up some new demand that starts rallying, is we should get a chance into the short over here. And I'm going to go down to the 60. The levels are a little bit more refined over here. Let's go there for a sec. There we go. Okay, so this is a great spot for a short if we can get here. Okay, notice where it is. Okay, right around 71.50. So if we get some kind of little rally into this area, it's a good spot to get into the shorts. There's another level over here, like on the 15, slightly higher. We'll have to look at that for a second. But we're thinking short here. I'm going to zoom out and show you what's underneath us because there ain't nothing there. Okay. So this is like when we had that ridiculous rally, whatever it was, a couple of weeks back. We've already cleared this thing. So this is out of the way. There's a bunch of stuff over here that's been hit already. You know, this is a 7,000 basically, a big ass round number over here. And then so a short starting somewhere higher up here someplace, you know, in here, wherever the supply starts kicking in, it is opening up a really nice short for us over here. And the target for this trade, I would even call lower down. It's probably somewhere around, I'll zoom in here, zoom out a drop more. There we go. So this was this nonsense move, you know, collapse and immediately exploding out of this thing over here when it did this. This crazy move over here. This is the 7,000 level I'm talking about. You could be sure we'll get a little bit of a bounce over there. If we get down here, it's probably a good long. But for now, short over here, target for 7,000. Pounds. So we do get a rejection on the pounds over here, right, of the breakout of this trend line. It hits the 50 average on the weekly chart and boom, bang, we're back down into demand. So we pull back, you can see it here. There's the demand that we've come back into at the daily level, and the question now becomes, well, where are we going from here? We can see the wedge. Take a look at the 240. There's a really big wedge going on over here. And the trend line for the tops is pushing hard. I think we're going to see a breakdown from this thing. We'll have to watch and see if it can push out of this to the bottom. If it does, you know, there's a lot of room over here. I think this is the target for now for pounds. You know, again, we might get a little push to the top, and then we should be looking for shorts over here into this demand underneath us. Let's take a look on our 60 chart. That's where I love the short over here. I've been waiting on this level since last week, and you know, still waiting for it to come. It's very clean underneath us. If this level starts reacting, there won't be any demand here. And look how much room there is down into the lows. You can see it here. It's all air. Okay, and it's, you know, the demand that was here. This doji level got hit. If we are able to push down at the top, we should be able to break through all this crap and probably get underneath this wick. So a really nice, pretty short with a lot of room and waiting for this. So let's see if we can get there this week. Short on the pounds. Canadian, we called for shorts last week. It looks like it did pretty well. We rolled over off the top of this move over here. Right, we're talking about being above the 200 average, and we had the twins at the top, blah, 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 you know, and into the supply of the weekly chart, and we do get the pullback, okay? Looks like Friday, we had a nice little pop back into supply, right over here. 200 average underneath us, notice on the 240 chart, holding up price currently, and then we're flagging out. What should happen? Well, this is what I see happening. We should get this. All right, so a little push up. I think we break this zone. We hit this one, and then we start selling off. So short in 7,600 is a great trade. It's right about this area over here. 75.77 is top of last week's candle. Thursday's candle looks like, and that's where the short I think is sitting currently. take a look here. Yeah, so this tough. I was just drawing out this levels. They're on top of each other, right? This and this and this. They're all sitting on top of each other, and they're all that 75, 70 area right over here. So it's not clear exactly where this or in between them, but that's where the short is sitting, right over here. You could see this is the other side. Should get something over here. That would open up this beautiful big short for us. So let this thing rally up here again with the dollar showing time for a little pullback. We should see some rallies in the currencies a little bit. Let it get up here. Once it starts turning over someplace up here, time to pull the short trigger on this sucker. Let's see what the 15 is showing us. So there's the supply that got hit on Friday. It's one big move off the bottom. I believe this should hold up here and get us back, into this thing up here someplace. This one looks awesome. If we can get that far, I don't know. I doubt it. More likely something in this neighborhood is going to get us turned around, and that's where the short will sit. Okay. Cool. Yen. So we were calling last week for yen shorts. It worked out okay, but it looks like it's just like it's building a huge bear flag on the higher time frames. We're looking at this becoming something really ugly on the monthly chart with a breakdown coming here, then the rejection, and then the reversal and the bang, bang, bang. We do close below last week's low, so we are being held up a little bit off of the little trend line thing, and that's why we're getting this little flagging pattern over here on the daily chart. We were going sideways for a bunch of days. Here's the big bear flag I'm talking about. Huge, huge. Right, so we should be a breakdown, and we should be see a test of this 200 average over here. We had the golden cross back over here, so that still hasn't begun to play out just yet. So maybe we get the back test into the demand, and then we'll talk about maybe turning around and breaking out the other side. But for now, it looks like there's going to be a pullback on the yen further down, picking up some new demand before it can do anything. It looks like we're at the level that it's at. It's not strong enough to get us going. Plus, we have overhead supply on top of us, so we're sitting inside this. It looks like right now, this area. Where's my pen? Okay, sitting over here, and it's just holding, but it's not strong enough to do anything. So something like this is what's probably coming. No, I don't want to close it. I just want to make it smaller. So not much trading available on the yen this week. There's the supply I'm looking for. This week was just really much just range bound sideways, chop, 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 chop. Nice supply over here. Okay, so something over there for potential shorts. Let's look at nat gas. Well, last week, I think it was Wednesday, saying that nat gas is due for the bounce. I believe it's starting. We had a really ugly continuation of this big sell-off over here, gapping down, and now we're underneath this area over here. So there's going to be a bounce. If this is real, this sell-off, which obviously it is, we have now at levels that need to get back tested a little bit. Very, very powerful move down without any breather. You can see the 240 level actually finally started to do something. These are pretty strong moves up. Supply is right there. There's no higher low yet. So, if you're going to take this as a bigger trade, we're going to wait for the higher low. But, on smaller time frame stuff, the long started on Friday with a break of a higher low to pop up. We came into the gap down over here. We had a little bit of old gap from way, way back, 2.5 and change. And then we immediately start rallying out of that, base, 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 base. We test back a little bit, and then we make the higher pop up over here through the air. Right? The supply is in front of us. We have to hit that, or like they like to do on Sunday, just gap through. So we'll see if it gets a continuation on the gap up for tomorrow. But I would be looking for longs this week as we pull back and create higher lows. I think that the target for nat gas is probably the gap that was created above us last week. And I'll go back to the daily chart for a second. Yeah, that's actually 2 weeks ago now. We're here. So we're looking for something around 2.9 and change is where the gap is sitting up here. You can see the 240 chart. That's where nat gas should be able to get to. It was a break of this 3 level over here. We had spent a lot of time there. You can see it over here on the weekly chart. It looks like the moving average is 3, right? Back test into the gap, and then we'll see which way it goes. But for now, it's long up into 3, but that's 500 ticks from where we are. Almost 400 now after Friday's rally. So 400 ticks up for nat gas. And then we'll talk after that. So let's take a look here. Zooming out a little bit. Yeah, so the gap is way up here. Higher time frame target up here. Lower time frame targets, so it should start to do this. Right? Start channel its way up through these zones and working its way up as it pulls back and makes higher lows and gets up here. How far the gap tonight is going to be, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be gap up. So we'll find out tonight. But if it does, the gap would be a potential entry for a long for this coming week. Okay. So keep your eye on that gas. I think we'll have a decent trade this week. Leaning long. Copper call for long last week was powerful move, beautiful rally out of demand, and we get a really nice continuation here. We just get to the high, small pullback, and now we should see a higher low forming out of here. All right, we get up to the weekly supply again, and above it, there's a lot of room. So, what we're looking for now is just to pull back into demand, which it started to do already. The question is this level going to hold, or is it going to get a little deeper? On the 60, there's a little bit more underneath us, but we're looking for this to continue this way. All right, so we're going to a little pull back and then a push up again. So, looking for longs for copper. So there's the 60 demand that I'm talking about. I think we watch this just channel its way down nice and slow, and then look for the longs in this neighborhood. Okay, around 2.78 with the next leg up coming from over there someplace. So keep your eye on that. It's a really nice looking trade. Target for the long side would be the next level up. Let's go look at where it is. Zooming out. So keep going. It's the source of this sucker. So this little level over here was this thing. So that's not it anymore. We're looking for something above that. Look, there's another level over there. Again, not fresh. It's not fresh. I would say there's a chance to get to 2.9. If we turn around over here with a higher low and break out of this, 2.9 looks like the target over here. Yeah, that's the zone, dude. That's the target. Right here. Boom. All this is not fresh. It's been banged on 100 times. So target for the long is over here. Really nice. Quite large. Let's go back and look at the entry. We're talking about 2.7 and change up to 2.9. That's a shitload of money for copper. All right. That's on my pay attention to the trade list for sure. Okay. Long copper and soy on Friday gets the USDA report out of the way and is actually able to hold. Okay, so I'm still leaning long here, looking pretty good. All right, this wedge is still getting tighter and tighter and tighter over here on the daily. Notice that the lows of Friday touch the trend line. Bang again. Notice that we've just started the golden cross over here, daily chart, and we're able to hold the lows down here and rally back up. So we just got rid of some supply overhead. I'll show you on the smaller time frames, and we're just ready to explode. And this looks to me like we're going to see a wicked rally out of this sucker. So nice strong hold on Friday after the news. Time to get long. Take a look. So there's the news candle, right? Giant 60 wicks on either side, and then it just starts rallying out. That's it. It's done. It's back tested the lows. It's ready to go. Okay, and we should start to see this really take off this week. I think at this point, probably waiting for that news to get out of the way. And again, any level above us is not fresh because of the way we've been banging around for so long in this neighborhood. We go back and look. Fresh levels are somewhere above 930. So another 15, 20 bucks up above us. So there's a big push coming here. Again, I'm saying because of this, right? We've been hanging over here at 920 since December. So that's the top. So anything in that range has been hit multiple times. Fresh supply has to be above that. Okay, so you're talking about breaking out, somewhere into the 940, 950 range, somewhere over there. So there's a lot of room coming. It's going to get violent once we start clearing through this area over here because there's just so much room on the weekly levels. And it's a back test to this trend break on the monthly. I keep saying it, and it's starting now, showing strength. So I like the longs totally. Okay, so we're buying pullbacks on soy into demand zones as a swing trade up to, again, for now, just throwing out 10, but I think it's probably going to go beyond that as well. All right, so the next possible demand, well, looks like something over here. Once we clear this wick over here, I'd be looking at this failed hammer as a 914 potential entry there. Okay. All right, let's go look at bonds, and we're wrapping up today's session. So last week on the call for the longs, bingo, baby. Okay, it was off a little bit. It looked like in the zone. We were looking for it to hold something higher up. It didn't end up holding that level. Which one was the one I was looking at when we were getting there? I forget. I think I was looking at this demand. Ended up breaking down into the next level, the overlander here on the 240. That one starts working, and then boom. Now we're all the way back. Look what I see here. Okay, so here's the cup. Here's the handle. Here's the breakout. Okay, already starting. Look here on the weekly chart. We hit the supply. We push back, we start to make the higher low, and we're rallying back. So there's no question about what I think is going to happen here. We should get a nice little breakout. I think we're probably going to get a little bit of a pullback on the V-bottom rules. Right, nice V-bottom. We should get a pullback into a demand zone somewhere over here around 146, and then bang out of the top. So that's going to be the last chance before the breakout for a chance to get into the longs. Looks to me. Yeah, 146. There's the level. There's our top, 60. Come right back to where we sell off out of, and then demand right here. 146 demand. We broke out of this thing, so we should see something like this, and then bang out of the top. So longs down, lower down, and pull back into demand is a long for the bonds, and our target would be back to, I think it was like 148 or something. Look. Yeah, so even more, probably 149 and change, deeper into this supply, somewhere to the top of this doji. This is almost 150. Over here on the weekly chart, that's the target into this, so above the wick over here, let's call it 140, 149 and change. Okay. Really nice, beautiful. So pull back into demand around 146, and we target 149, 3K a contract. Beautiful. All right, that's it for Sunday's session. Please feel free to email me, text me, or whatever. Skype me if you have questions about any zones or questions about anything. Otherwise, I will see you this Wednesday. I think we have a training. Yeah, this week is going to be a live trading session. For now, it's Wednesday. I might have to change it to Thursday, but I'll let you know probably Monday or Tuesday. All right, all the best, and have a great Sunday.